This is Akashvani. Time for a weekly program, Our Guest. Very warm welcome, dear listeners. Today in this program, where we will have a very interesting conversation with somebody who has seen challenges in life. And today, we are fortunate enough that he is going to share some interesting tales from whatever he has seen in life. Major General Sunil Chandra. A very warm welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
So how does it feel to be here in the studio?
It's a very great feeling to be in the All India Radio studio and sharing experiences.
Share it with our listeners. They are not only going to listen to you, they'll definitely get inspired by you.
I hope so that after listening to me, they get inspired from the armed forces, what we did and what is in store for them in the future.
Your life has been a roller coaster ride like anybody else, but then yours has been quite exciting as well.
Yes, when I look back, I feel that my life has been really a roller coaster ride and a very exciting life I had spent. I was 22 and a half when I joined. I joined from Army standard very late because in Army there are many entries. There is a National Defence Academy entry which during our times was after class 11. Used to start around 16 years of age and by 19 they used to pass out of NDA. At 20 they'll pass out of IMA and they'll become the officers. So my own course mates were 2 years younger to me. Those who came from NDA, those who came from the CDS, that is direct entry, combined defense services, they were of course all of my age. I was in the technical entry. I joined the Army Education Corps. I was the youngest in my course, but my own course mates were in the range of 22 and a half to 24 and a half. Before that, I was studying in Delhi University. I did my BA in Delhi University, MA at Merit University, MPhil and PhD from JNU.
So were you inclined towards this line since childhood?
No, there was nothing like that I had to join army right in the beginning. The IAS during our time used to start at 700 rupees. The commissioned officer used to start at 750 rupees, basic. So therefore we said this is a better way to join the army and you will wear uniform, you will be recognized and you will be again in the education profile you will maintain. So I joined Education Corps and I have no regrets because I rose to become Major General, that is the head of the service. And we have an appointment Colonel Commandant of the Corps. So I had the privilege and opportunity to get that also. And a lot of support from my colleagues, my juniors, my seniors who are in the service. No regrets after when I look back, I think if given a chance, I'll join army again.
Okay, that's nice. But then you're transferred here and there. Was it a cakewalk?
No, it was not a cakewalk actually. But yes, looking back, one doesn't feel it that bad. My journey started from, I did my training at Indian Military Academy in 1978. June 79, I passed out. I remember that the next door neighbor of mine was General Bipin Rawat in the same company, Jozila company in Manaksha Battalion. And later on, we grew up together in the service. So I passed out in June 79. And thereafter, my first posting was in 56 Mountain Brigade, which was in Mokokchung, which is area in Nagaland, area dominated by Ao tribe of Nagas. And I spent my time in 9 Rajputana Rifle. During those days, the custom was to do post-commission attachment with the infantry regiment. So I was sent to 9 Rajputana Rifles, which was in the same area. And a very challenging job. I was doing long-range patrolling. I also did the post commander. I did in small time, I was the company commander. And we gelled with the troops very well. Our troops are from Rajasthan mainly. Some are from Gujarat. We had a company of Gujarat in that battalion. And many of them were Rajputs and Jats. Very difficult to be accepted by them till such time you come to their level of physical fitness. Suppose like cross country on the mountain is called khad race. So we used to run with them. They will only accept you as an officer if you can run with the same stamina and you can perform well. You got to be marksman in firing. Otherwise the troops will not accept you. So it was during those days it was very tough to reach from battalion headquarters to the post that we were managing. It was almost 2 days walk. You were to carry almost 25 to 30 kgs of rations, ammunition and other personal belongings on your back and walk across the ridge lines It so happened that first time when I was going to the post, I was welcomed by some Assam regimental guys. We used to say Jai Mata Di in Rajdev.
Yeah.
And they used to say Tagda Raho Sahab. So I thought they are being sarcastic to me. Tagda Raho Sahab means you stay strong. I said, I am Tagda. So somebody told me, no sir, it is not like that. It is their battle cry. Tagda Raho. Like in Gorkha they say Gorkhali Ai. In Sikhs they say Vaheguru Ji Da Khalsa. And in Jats they say Jat Balwan. Like Madras regiment says Veer Madrasi. So this is how the various regiments have their own war cry. But later on then we got posted to Indian Military Academy and I taught military history. And as the luck would have it, in my company, General Bipin Rawat was also posted as a captain.
Okay.
I was a captain and the Chief General Dalbir Singh Sehwag was the company commander. Later he became chief. I also got the opportunity to write history of Indian Military Academy during my tenure at Indian Military Academy. After I completing my tenure of IMA, I got posted to Ladakh in 70 Brigade, which is in Kyari, the area which is in news now, Phukche, Jemchok, Dungti, Neoma, all these areas I walked on foot during my period. That was in 1988. And 1990, I came to Allahabad in the selection center, having done my M.Ed, Master of Education. I was a qualified psychologist.
Okay.
So I was in the Services Selection Center Board for 2 years. I completed my tenure there. We selected a lot of boys into NDA, IMA, OTA, engineering entries and all. After that, I came on sabbatical to JNU to complete my PhD.
Achha, that's
So
nice.
in army, they have a provision of 2 years paid leave. So 2 years I came here. I was lucky to get a scholarship at University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign in US. So while doing PhD in JNU, I applied for scholarship. This is called United States Educational Fund in India. So I got the fellowship and I went to US to Urbana-Champaign. Stephen Cohen, a very known name in South Asia, was my guide.
It must have been a very nice, enriching experience.
Very, very nice, enriching experience for me to be in the US. One could work 24 hours, especially having gone from the sultry weather here. The system was very supportive. You could go to the library and reserve books 2 days in advance. The books will be waiting in for you on the study table. You had a research assistant available to you. So I did my PhD in conflict management, which was the very sought after area during those days. And I came back, then I served in an armored brigade. I was in area of Jhansi and Babina. And from there I went to National Defense Academy as an instructor in Khadakwasla. Again, a very enriching experience. My children studied in Kendriya Vidyalaya itself. My wife was also working there. And they continued to stay there. And my posting from there came to Indian Military Academy again. First time I had gone a captain. Second time I came as a major. I became lieutenant colonel there, and that time the Kargil started, and I was posted to 8 Mountain Dew, which had the proud privilege of have gone into operations in the Kargil war.
Okay.
So I was with 8 Mountain Dew during this period, and later on I came to Pune, and as a colonel, I was colonel in headquarters Southern Command, and from Pune I went to Satara as principal of a Sainik school. So I spent almost 4 years there. It was again a very challenging. School boys coming to you at the age of 10. You could train them.
Mold them to be.
Yes. And I was lucky that I could push many students into NDA to the extent that once Raksha Mantri Trophy was also given to us on our good performance of the school for contributing maximum students to the NDA. From there I went to Srinagar. I was in headquarters 15 Corps and that time militancy was on the peak. So I spent a tenure in Srinagar. As a brigadier, I went as head of the academic department in IMA again. That is my third posting. By virtue of my brigadier and HAD, I was also principal of Army Cadet College, which is joined by the serving Jawans. And they compete for ICC and eventually they become officers in the army. As a brigadier, I had a tenure in Army Headquarters, Deputy Director General, and thereafter I became Additional Director General, Head of the Service and Colonel Commandant, and I retired from here.
Yeah, Dr. Chandra, what's most interesting part is that you can recall all your postings and everything so vividly. And the way you have put up, it seems that anybody can get a clear picture of what it's like a histogram or something, It's so clear. So it's very nice to know. But then it requires a lot of discipline, I've heard. How disciplined are you now that you are away from that kind of a hectic life?
Discipline gets ingrained in you in all these years.
Okay.
Simple things in the army, very, very simple things that you got to be punctual, which really doesn't require much effort. You got to be properly dressed. In army is a regimented life. People would like to see your bearing and your dress very well. So we have a lot of accoutrements on the like ribbons, belt and all. So everything should be neatly placed on you.
Proper.
If possible, you should change them very often. Third thing which I did was I never questioned seniors in the very first go. Even if I had difference of opinion, I took the orders, took their directions, and after 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, I'll go back to them or message to them that this is what you had given me, this is what I feel. And normally I found they were very supportive and I did the job.
It's your way of giving regard.
Yeah. So that was one way. And the most interesting part was that you had to carry your team. There was a problem with me that I wanted initially things to be done as if it was yesterday. They should be done yesterday. The job is given now and I used to follow it up. Then I realized that where I have reached, people have yet to take experience to reach there. So I started giving little more time to them. But discipline is now part of
Your life.
the life and creed. At home also it remains that the clothes should be neat and clean, nicely stacked. Things should be at their proper place. And after my retirement, I was lucky that I worked with the consultant with the CDAC, Center for Advanced Computing. From there, I got a chance to work with a multinational educational company called GEMS Education, which is based in Dubai.
Okay.
So I spent some time there and they gave me India chapter to establish few schools, which I did. And thereafter, I was the Pro Vice Chancellor of Shobit University in Modipuram, Meerut area. I am still advisor to them.
Some recreation, some amusements. How do you pass your time?
Book reading is
One
favorite activity, which has reduced after cataract operation. But earlier I used to read 50, 60, 70 pages a day.
Okay.
And writing has been a passion. I have been lucky to write, contribute to the official history of World War I. It's a book which has come out by the publication division of the Ministry of Defense. I play golf at least 2 to 3 times. Life is good, keeping physically fit, keeping company of the friends, spending time at home, quality time with the friends. That's all about it.
So before we wind up, I would really like it if you just give some nice encouragement and motivation to youngsters. I mean, though they want to join army, but then they are still wary as to whether they'll be able to cope up with it or they'll have some problems. So what do you say?
My advice to all youngsters is that army is the best career. It's not that I've been an army man, because army gives you so much of exposure. You want to do software, there's a scope there. You want to be engineer, there's a scope there. You got to go as a doctor, there's a scope there. You are very impressed by feeling of like Rambo and all. You can join infantry, you can be a tank man, armored corps officer, you can be in artillery, you can be firing at a distance of 30 to 40 miles.
Oh, wait.
You could be a missile man, sports person. We have a lot of sports facilities available. So army is a state within a state. You get a lot of activities. And the facilities that you get in the army, I think, no, I have been serving in the multinational also. If the CTC is to be calculated, I would say a major in the Indian Army gets the CTC of a CEO of a company.
With this, we come to the end of this program. I'm so happy that you spared your precious time and shared some valuable information regarding your life, and you have motivated our youngsters as well. Thank you so much for being with us. Our guest broadcast every Monday at 9:15 a.m. Don't forget to tune in next week, same day, same time and same frequency for more on Our Guest. Have a nice day.